I sold the RX8. My name is Andrew, and this is Rogue Wrenching. You are probably wondering, why would I sell arguably one of the coolest cars that I have ever owned? Let me explain. When I initially looked at the RX8 on OfferUp, where I found it, I noticed that it was a Shinka edition, which is the little bit higher up trim package. It has a few things changed about it. There's a little more material added to stiffen the body around the rear suspension and in the front A-pillars. There's also a polymer filled, there's some crossmember in the front that's updated. It's the upgraded package. It's kind of their performance package. Shinka is a word in Japanese which means evolution or new beginnings, and so this was supposed to be their model that combated the Mitsubishi Lancer evolution. So that's kind of what this was. It was supposed to be kind of their top trim package, their highest, best model, and that's what this was. Now, when I initially looked at the car, I priced out used engines for it, and I found JDM drop-in engines for about $1,200. Now, you figure I paid $500 for the car, another $200 to $300 in miscellaneous expenses to repair it, pieces around the engines, belts, hoses, fluids, batteries, that sort of stuff. I was looking at a combined repair cost of about $2,000 for a running, driving RX8 with a clean title. So that's kind of what I thought I had getting into it, except for the engines that I priced were engines for a 2006 Mazda RX8. I did not, however, realize that there are two different variants of those engines. There are 4-port and 6-port engines, and the difference is the number of ports on the intake on the rotor housings, and the difference is significant in terms of price. All of the Shinka editions came with 6 ports with a manual transmission. Now the problem is that 6-port 13Bs range from about $3,000 to $4,000 and nobody has them in stock. $3,000 at a minimum for an engine. Now the thing to remember is this car, when repaired, given its rough shape, if you didn't see the shape of it, definitely check out the video, I'll link it right there. This car in its rough shape is probably only worth about $3,000 to $4,000 in good running condition. So the original plan was to buy it, put an engine in it, and sell it. Now, the follow-up thought to that is that I also wanted to have a really cool project to put on my YouTube channel here. I'm working to build an audience, and I saw this as a really great tool to be able to do that. There is some good RX8 content out there. I'm not knocking any other guys, but it's definitely an area that there's not a tremendous amount of content in, and so people really enjoy the cool spinning triangles are cool. Everybody likes that kind of project, and so my thinking was this is a really cool way to kind of get into that niche and start to build my audience more than it has been building in the past. Now, the problem is that YouTube isn't paying me any money. So right now, all of this I'm doing is free. The ad you saw at the beginning of this video, YouTube's getting the money off of that ad. My channel is not monetized because it is too small, my audience is too small, etc. So this is a great time. If you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below so I can continue to grow this audience to where we can get to where YouTube is actually paying for some more of these really cool projects. That being said, we're actually a long ways out from monetizing the channel enough to pay for a project like this, which means that for right now, these projects kind of have to pay for themselves. What that means is buy the car for cheap, repair it, make a bunch of content along the way, and then sell it for a profit, and then that profit then pays for the next project that we can buy cheap, fix, sell for a profit, etc. So the thing to remember about flipping cars or any kind of buying and selling cars, even if you drive them for a while for your own personal use, is you make money on the purchase price. Because I got into this car for so little, I had the option to sell it and get out of it and not lose money on it. If I had paid, say, $1,500 for this car, there's no way I could sell it and turn a profit. Because I got it for so cheap, I was able to list it for substantially more than I paid for it. Now, I didn't end up getting $1,600 for it. I ended up selling it for $1,350 to a very excited young lady who was super excited to have the car. And it was a really cool deal because I was able to get rid of something that I wasn't going to use because I don't have any use for it as a daily driver. I'm not going to use the car. So I was able to get rid of something that I used. I was able to turn a pretty decent profit, and the person who bought it was able to get a good deal on a car they were buying, so they had a really cool project. And the person who bought it was a younger enthusiast, and it was really cool to be able to help set them up with their first big project car. So they got a really cool project car for a good, fair price. I made some money on the deal. The stuff is out of my life, and I've got money to work with for new projects. So everybody was happy, which is kind of the definition of a good deal. When I walked away feeling like I made money and it was a good deal for me, the person who bought it walked away feeling like they got a good deal and they're happy with what they purchased, everybody wins. So that's the power of buying or purchasing at a lower cost. See, if I had paid $1,200 for this car on the front end, I wouldn't have been able to sell it and get out from under it on the back end. Now for the lady who bought the car from me, she intends to fix it up and drive it. Good for you, that's awesome. She's enthusiastic about it. She's wanted one of these for a long time. This is what she wants to spend money on. She understands that it's a project car and she's not gonna make money on it, and she's happy with that. I'm not happy with that, personally. I don't want to do that. I don't have enough disposable income that I can just sink endless money into projects that I don't have a use for. So at this point, I decided that it was time to just cut ties and let the car go, let somebody else have fun with it, and give me some working capital to put into my next project. Expensive things should be a blessing. So if you buy, a car, a truck, an ATV, a horse, a house, an airplane, whatever it is, that should be a blessing and not a burden. And if you pay too much for it, those things are one major repair away from becoming a serious burden to you. So stay unburdened, you guys. It's not worth it. Don't overpay to get into cool projects, even if it's cool. Just remember that you make money on the purchase price, and your ability to get out is defined by how little you paid for it when you got in. So that applies to houses, cars, trailers, I would assume airplanes. I don't know. I don't actually work on airplanes. I know I've been saying it a lot, but you make money on the purchase price. And the reason that I'm saying that is because generally speaking, you can't spend your way into a profit. So with this car, I paid $500 for it. If I spent $4,000 or $5,000 into fixing every little detail with it, I might be able to get my money back, maybe. But there wouldn't be any profit margin to pay me for all the work that I put in. So I'm sure at this point you are dying to know, Andrew, what is the next project? Well, if you have not subscribed, you're definitely gonna want to do that, because the next project will be coming to you. I'll be showing it in a video, kind of a full walk around, but here's a quick sneak peek. This is a truck that I bought a couple weeks ago, and we are gonna be doing a whole video series on this truck. It is a 6-liter Power Stroke. So if you guys are interested in diesels or have wondered about the 6-liter because they have a crazy reputation, definitely make sure you're subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications so that you do get notified when new videos are uploaded. If you guys didn't see the purchase story of the RX8 when I bought it, crazy video, it was a wild day. Definitely check that out. I will put that video right here so you can check it out. Until next time, stay unburdened, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe so you can see that video on the new truck, and we'll see you guys in the next video.